Hi guys, and welcome back to Shelly K Creations. In my last tutorial I actually showed you how to make a heart-shaped rug, and this week I thought I would show you how to turn the heart-shaped square thing that we made last week into a basket. So this week I've worked myself up on my square. I've done a total of 5 rows, and I've used, instead of using an 8mm hook, I've used a 6.5mm hook. I don't know if you can really see it there, it's kind of blurry showing up. So this week what you will need for your tools is a 6.5mm hook, a pair of scissors, and a darning needle for sewing in your ends. So let's get started here. So as I said, I've worked 5 rows up on my square, and once again I will show you how to do the half circles, but this time I'm actually really close to the center. I'm only 1 stitch off. This is the stitch that I need to be working from. So instead of slip stitching all the way around to the center of this side, I'm going to kind of do a backward slip stitch into this stitch right here. So in order to do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to insert your hook from front to back in your stitch, and then grab your yarn and pull it through both of the stitches. So it kind of secures it down there, and now we're also into the stitch that we want to be working from. So then you once again just continue working your half circles as we did previously. You chain 3, count 2 stitches back, secure that down like we just did basically with a backward slip stitch, and then in this stitch here you just continue working your 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now that we worked our 6 double crochets, you are going to slip stitch with the second chain over here. So actually, since we're working on the one beside our chain 3 space here, we count the chain 3 space as a stitch. So we'll be slip stitching in this first double crochet right here. And then chain 3, turn your work, do a slip stitch in the second chain, so, or second double crochet, I guess. So 1, not counting the one that we chained 3 in. So 1, 2, secure this down, and then 2 double crochets all the way around. And I will put a reference to the previous video that I made in the description box below. So if you want to follow that for the rest of your half circles, then you can refer to that to finish off your heart square. Just make sure that you're using, once again, your 6.5mm hook rather than your 8mm hook. So if you want to finish off your heart-shaped rug, or whatever you want to call it, the base for your basket, and then meet me back and I will show you how to continue on for the rest of your basket. So in the last tutorial video, I had only done 4 rounds for this square, and so I thought I should show you how to do the final 5th round for your half circle. So once again, you were just going to do it like you did any other round. You were going to do your chain 3, you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to join with a backward slip stitch to that chain 2 corner. Then you are going to want to do 2 double crochets into the first stitch. One double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Two double crochets into the next stitch. And 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. So if you want to continue that all the way to the end and then join with your slip stitch to the corner, repeat with your other half circle once you slip stitch to the center of this row, and meet me back once you have finished. Okay, so now we've completed our base for our basket, and instead of fastening off like you would do if you were just making a rug, we are now going to, I've joined with a slip stitch to the corner here, and we are now going to chain 3, 2, 3. We're going to turn our work. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be working in the top stitch of our work. So I guess you would say in the back loop. So we're going to be working in the back loop only. And that will actually help the sides of our basket to stand up here. So we've chained 3. You're going to make 1, here, let me look here. This might be a little bit hard to see. So I have my chain 3 in the corner. So this will be my first stitch. So in your first stitch here in the back loop, you're going to make a double crochet. And in the next stitch in the back loop, you're going to double crochet. And in the next loop, you're going to double crochet. And you are going to repeat that double crochet into every single stitch all the way around until you come back to the beginning. And I will show you how to join and to continue on. Okay, so I've worked my way to the center of the top of the heart, and I thought I should maybe just show you what to do here, just so that it didn't start looking funny as you kept going around. So what you want to do is you want to find you want to make a double crochet into one of these slip stitches. So the slip stitches that you made to the center, this center loop here, you just want to go and slip your hook into one of them, or you can even somehow bend this over so that we can slip stitch through both of it. So I'll show you again. I think I kind of went off camera for that. So what I did was I slip stitch into the furthest stitch, or put my hook into the furthest stitch, and then kind of pulled this one over and put my hook into the closer stitch, and then you make a double crochet. So that just kind of makes it a little bit stiffer there, and it also makes it go in like it's supposed to for the basket. So if you want to continue your way around working into the back loop only, all the way till you reach the edge here, and I will show you, or actually meet me at the corner here if you want to pause the video and meet me at the corner, and I will show you what to do for that corner. Okay, so I have worked my way down to the bottom corner of my heart, and so now what you want to do is you want to work 3 chains, or 3 double crochet, sorry, into these 2 chains. So how I like to do that is I like to work 1 double crochet into the first chain from the chain 2, and then 2 double crochets into the next chain. 1, 2. So that just gives you a bit of a point for your corner. We'll be able to see it better once we get further along. And then you're just going to once again do a double crochet into the back loop of every stitch along until you meet up with your first chain 3 space. So if you want to pause the video, work into the back loop of the rest of the way along here and meet me when you get to the end. Okay, so I've worked my way all the way around, and now what you want to do is count up 3 from your bottom chain. So 1, 2, 3, and join in that third chain with a slip stitch. There you go. So now, as you can see, by working in the back loop only, we've created this ridge all the way around just for our basket. It kind of gives it a little bit more support there. And also working with the 6.5 millimeter hook, we are also making it a little bit stiffer, so it's a little bit more support for your basket. So now for round 2. Now you're going to want to chain 3. Oops. And then work double crochets into each of the double crochet until you get to the center of the top of your heart. So you're not working into the back loop. This time you're working into the whole stitch. Just like that. So if you want to pause the video, work your way around till you get to the point here of the top, meet me back and I will show you how to do that. So this is how you're going to want to join your center of the top of your heart. What you want to do is, if you can see there, here's your stitch that's from the center. So in the third stitch from the center, 1, 2, 3, you're going to want to make 2 double crochets into that stitch. And now in order to get the inward point effect, we are going to do a back post double crochet through 3 stitches. So normally for doing a back post double crochet, you would go from the back to the front and then to the back of these 2 stitches right here. But in order to get a little bit more of a pointy effect, we are going to do it through 3 stitches. So we are going to insert our hook from the back through the second chain or the second stitch from the center. So this is the center stitch, this is the second stitch from the center, and we are going to skip the center stitch and put our hook back through the loop of the stitch on the other side of the center stitch, back into the back again. We are going to yarn over, pull through both of the loops, and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So as you can see, there is our back post double crochet that we have made. Now into this next stitch here, you're going to want to do 2 double crochets. And that just evens us out so we have the same amount of stitches as we did before. So we took away these 2 stitches, we added another 2 stitches on either side of your back post double crochet. So if you want to do double crochets around the rest of your heart until you get to this corner, and I will show you what to do in the corner. So pause the video, work your double crochets, and meet me back at this corner. Okay, so now I've worked my way down to the 3 stitches that we put in the chain 2 space here at the bottom. So now what you are going to want to do is you are actually going to want to do a front post double crochet, and we are going to do it in 2 stitches this time. So you put your yarn over your hook, insert your hook from front to back, and then put your hook through back to the front, just like that. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that gives it the point at the base here for the bottom of your heart. So now we are going to continue to do double crochets in each of our stitches. Until we get to the chain 3 space. Okay, so now I've worked my way to the end here. So once again, you are going to count up your 3rd chain from the bottom, insert your hook, and join with a slip stitch. So as you can see, like, our basket isn't perfectly rounded or anything. It's a little bit floppy, but that's just the way it's going to be. You could probably insert pipe cleaners or something if you wanted to make it a little bit stiffer, but it'll also get a little bit stiffer once we put our items inside of it. And it's a fairly large basket that I've made here. If you want to make a smaller basket size, you could do 3 rounds of your square instead of 5 rounds. And that would just make it for a fairly nice size, smaller basket, I think. But I wanted a larger size basket, so that's why I did this. Now, in order to continue for this basket, you can continue round 2 as you did previously, and just continue that until you have the height that you want of your basket, and then you can fasten off, and then you have a beautiful basket. So if you want to continue on for as tall as you want your basket, and meet me at the end, and I will give you some tips and tricks. Okay, so I just thought I would show you this one more time, just so that you get this part down pat for the top center of the heart, so you don't get too confused. Now, every time you work up a row, you're going to see these 2 double crochets in the 1 stitch here, and you're going to see that in every single row. So what you're going to want to do is, when you, instead of having to count to the center stitch every single time, you just go your single double crochet in every stitch until you get to the first double crochet that we did of the 2 double crochets into the same stitch. And in that first stitch, you do your 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So there, as you can see, there's 2 in that stitch, and in this first stitch 2, and in this first stitch we've just made 2. And then for your, we're going to do the back post double crochet once again. So you insert your hook from back to front, skip this center stitch, put your hook from front to back, yarn over, pull through those stitches, so pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So there you have your back post double crochet. And then you make in this last stitch here, so see if you can see it here again, here's the 2 double crochets into the 1 stitch, 2 double crochets into the 1 stitch. So instead of working into this first one here now, we're going to be working into the second one. So we're going to make 2 double crochets into the second stitch. So as you can see, it's even on each side. So we've made 2 double crochets into the first stitch here and 2 double crochets into the last stitch here. So it just makes it for an even stitch. So continue around with your double crochets for the rest of your heart. Okay, so I have just finished my basket. So what you now want to do is you now want to snip off your yarn. And then fasten off. And then you will weave in your ends with your darning needle. And there is your heart-shaped basket. Now, one of the things that I had wanted to say was I did use the same type of yarn as I used last week. So I used Bernat Maker Home Decor. And you can get this in several different colors if you want. Also, what you may want to do is just to make the bottom a little bit stiffer, you may want to cut out a heart-shaped piece of cardboard just to insert in the bottom here so that you can use it for a gift basket if you wanted to, or a fruit basket. You could use this for basically whatever you wanted to use it for. But isn't that beautiful? I just absolutely love it. So that is the tutorial for this week, and I hope you liked it. If you did, please remember to like this video, and you can also share it if you wish to. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to receive future tutorial videos that I make. And thanks everybody for watching, and hope to see you next time.